Hey everyone, it's Sue here, and guess what we are working in again today? Um, I did a two-page spread last weekend, and then I did another two-page spread, and I only have the back of this little journal to do, and I'm done. So I'm almost there, almost there. So this is it's a little journal. It's actually Avon bags that were sewn together, and I've just really been enjoying working with it for, gosh, 9 months now. And it's only a few pages long. My goodness, good thing it's not really fat because I would never get through it. But anyway, the gold colors that you see down there are actually the new archival paints by Prima Finnabair. And the one on the left is a color called Coin, Coin, and the one on the right is the gold. And when I got them, I was like, well, looking at them, I couldn't quite tell what they would look like when they were dry, right? Because they're similar. And so I figured, well, I'm going to put a little bit in this book and just as a start of the page. And you can see the coin on the left, even though it is shiny, it is a little bit darker than the gold on the right. Would I purchase both of them again? No, probably not because they are so close in color, but I do like them both, so I will certainly use them. So let's see. So I am just doing some collaging here. So what I'm using to collage with, see in that little jar over to the right there, it kind of looks a little gloppy. Well, that is because I mixed two different mediums together. So the last time I used this, I didn't have it mixed. I had it was just the regular product, which that came in that particular little jar, and then I decided to add some Mod Podge to it. Well, when I opened it to use it this time, it is very gloppy. And I actually smelled it and everything because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, was there some weird chemical reaction? Like, what the heck is going on here? But it didn't smell funny. And, so I decided to use it for this two-page spread. And it worked great. It was just a consistency that I am just not used to. But it worked. So all is well. So what I did with this two-page spread was, I went through my stash of all my little pieces and I picked out the colors that I thought would look good, especially with that gold in the background. So I pulled out all the little pieces that you see here. And that is some washi tape, that black right there. This is the last little bits of washi tape from Happy Mail that Mary from the Mary Attier sent me. I don't know how long ago it was, a year and a half. It's a while, but I had saved all the washi, and little by little I've been using it, and that is the end of it. So I totally enjoyed using that. And it's just feels very, very good when you get to use up, all your little bits and pieces. So like this little thing right here that I just put down that says, I don't even know what it says. Because you know what? It doesn't matter. Because in the end, you're not going to be able to read it anyway. So, I do a lot of layers. But again, I had like these little tag thingies in my stash from my Project Life days. And that little butterfly that I just put down there in the upper right, that's from Jamie, who is Poet Spice here on YouTube. So like I go through my little containers of goodies, and I just pull stuff out, and you know what? I put it down. Now look at it. It looks, I mean, I'm looking at it, and it looks like a mess to me. And I'm the one working on it. So, but I know that that's only the first layer, and there's a lot more to come. So, you know, I know I do this all the time, and so I'm just used to that. But if this is like your first time watching one of my videos, oh my goodness, you're saying, what the heck? But anyway, so I'm trying to use some more washi. You know, I like to, I have a ton of washi, and I had this sitting on my table, and I'm like, ah, you know what, I'm going to get it on there. And I do like to put some vertical, some horizontal, some across like the binding, like the seam, like so like from one page to the other. And I wanted a little bit more black on it. And I was just trying to cover up, like around the edges, there was a little bit too much white for me. So I was trying to cover it up. And I took out the white gesso from Dina Wakley. And you want to know something? I had totally forgotten I had this gesso. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I looked in my like my thing, my cart next to my crafting table, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot I had that. I have to have had that for almost, I would say almost 2 years. Totally forgot I had it. So anyways, I pulled it out, and I do like using up product. Like what I mean by that is, you know, so if I have a jar that is almost empty, I can't wait to just finish it up and throw that jar away. So, you know, so that's probably the next thing I'll work on is that white gesso from Dina Wakley. So here I took out some of the elements. It's a pigment. It's like a mica. Well, it's a pigment. It's not really like a mica. It's more just a pigment. And I have some of the light paste from Art Basics, but the primary elements, very, very, very cool to work with. And they come in different colors. This one is called Spiced Pumpkin, and it's made by Color Art. And I like it. I have several different colors of it because you can add it to anything and get beautiful, beautiful color out of it. I mean, like, look at that. Look at how beautiful that orange is. So I did it on both sides, and when I did in the middle, I kind of messed it up just a little bit. Kind of messed it up just a little bit, but that's okay. Like it didn't come out as clear, as clean as I would have liked it to. So I did go ahead and I pulled out my little Tim Holtz sprayer with water in it just to clean this up, because you definitely don't want to leave, you know, any type of paste or anything like that on your stencils. Now this particular paint is from Target, and it is the Handmade Modern, the acrylic paints they got, I want to say, what, 2 years ago or so. And this is glitter acrylic paint, and it's silver, a silver gray. And it was in their clearance section, and the guy gave it to me for 79 cents. And it's very glittery. There's not a lot of color to it, which I was a little surprised. I thought it was going to be very gray and with some glitter in it, but it wasn't really like that. But I still like it. I mean, the glitter on the page was really great. So I really dried everything, I mean, as well as I could. That orange was still a little wet because it did get into my fine liner here, as like I was doing that, like right there. It was like getting in the fine liner a little bit. But I wanted to just work with some flowers and just have some fun. And so that's what I did. Now, if you're not familiar with a fine liner, you can purchase them at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and you can also find them online for sure. And they come in two different size, like needles. And this one is the little bit bigger one. I mean, they're fine line pens. They're meant to make fine lines. So as far as I know, there's none that make like a thick line. But out of the two that I know of, this one makes the thicker line. And I happen to like, this is my favorite size. So I just doing my little flowers. And of course it was, it's spring now, and maybe that's what made me in the mood for flowers. But I think flowers and drawing faces, I would say, are probably my favorite things to draw. So certainly my go-tos. And with the fine line applicator, it's different, obviously, than using a paintbrush. It's more like using, a pen, and you're basically just drawing, except that it's not a pen. So I'm just putting all the little detail in there. And I was really, I like the way it's looking. But of course, I just can't, leave it alone, right? No, no, no. So I'm adding a little bit more. And then I'll add just a little bit more. I mean, you'll see in a minute, like the insides of those flowers, the centers. I did put a little bit of color on them, which you can see right there. But I did dry it all up. And I'm almost done, but I wanted to put a word on it. And the word that came to mind was Bella, which means beauty. So that's what I decided to put on there. And to me, flowers are just so beautiful. I can't keep them alive. Not real ones, but this kind of flower I like. So that is really about it. I'm just going to show you the finished page. And like I said, I just have the very, very back page to do. And here are some up close photos for you. And I hope that you enjoyed this. And please hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you as a subscriber. Take care. Bye-bye.